When Bron didn't get in this shit, he fucked the whole tradition up. When Kobe slapped the floor, told that nigga, let's go one-on-one, and he passed it, he fucked up the whole tradition.
Damn.
Don't nobody want to hear this? Yeah, I'm one of them gatekeepers, I can say this. Everybody went in it. Bro, he slapped floor on your ass, you supposed to nail his ass with a 3, boom. Bitch ass nigga, what's up? Y'all supposed to go right there.
Right.
Lord didn't want none of that motion.
Right.
He swung that bitch, here, get that,
Damn.
That's when mama was like, nah, see, you don't want this nigga. Right, talking crazy.
Yeah.
Right, I hate to get to these, that's what really happens.
Yeah,
and ever since then, we've been off the trajectory. We went this way.
The controversy surrounding NBA All-Star Weekend took another unexpected turn when the daughter of Jalen Rose publicly pointed fingers at LeBron James for what she believes has gone wrong with the event. Her comments immediately sparked debate across social media because they touched on a frustration many basketball fans have expressed for years. According to her perspective, the All-Star Weekend no longer feels like the must-watch spectacle it once was. The intensity is gone, the competitiveness has faded, and the event often feels more like a celebrity gathering than a showcase of the world's best basketball players. By bringing LeBron into the conversation, she reignited a larger debate about whether the league's biggest stars have unintentionally helped create an environment where preserving health and avoiding injury has become more important than delivering an unforgettable performance for fans. Her criticism was not necessarily about one specific moment. Instead, it focused on what LeBron represents as one of the most influential figures in modern basketball. For more than 2 decades, LeBron has helped shape player empowerment, load management discussions, and the way stars approach the long NBA season. Supporters argue that players are simply protecting their careers and making smarter decisions than previous generations. Critics, however, believe that this shift has had unintended consequences, particularly during showcase events like All-Star Weekend. They argue that when the league's biggest names treat the event as a low-priority exhibition, younger stars naturally follow that example. Whether fair or not, LeBron often becomes the face of these criticisms because his influence on the league is larger than almost anyone else's.
And, you know, we were all talking this morning, and LeBron James is to blame for this. LeBron James is to blame for a lot of this. And I'm a LeBron fan. I was on here, y'all. Go through the archives. I was on here arguing that LeBron is my GOAT. So this is no shade towards LeBron. Love the fam, you know? Shout out LeBron. He's still in the league. He's in his 40s. However, part of the reason why the All-Star game used to be interesting and no longer is because there was always a psycho. Always a psycho. Kobe Bryant. That man, God rest his soul, psycho. Psycho. He's not going on a basketball court and losing worth of nothing for y'all. Ever. He don't care. Michael Jordan. The story says that he would go into the locker room and say, the winner makes more money than the loser. So, you know that man, you know, he loves a little gamble, you know, shout out MJ. But, like, he would go in the locker room and say, you know, the winner makes more than the loser. So, and what are you going to do? If you're a first-time All-Star, if you're Victor Wembanyama in the corner with your book, like, and Michael Jordan walks in the locker room and is like, I don't want to lose. What, you going to go out there and not try? Please. Please.
What also gets overlooked in discussions like this is how much pressure comes with being the face of a league. For years, whenever something positive happened in the NBA, LeBron James received a large share of the credit. His success helped grow the game internationally, attract new audiences, and keep basketball at the center of the sports world. But that level of influence comes with a downside as well. When fans become disappointed with the direction of the league, they often look toward the biggest star for answers. That is part of the reason LeBron's name continues to surface in conversations that extend far beyond his individual performance. Fair or unfair, people associate entire eras with their defining superstars. Just as previous generations connected the league's identity to players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, many fans view the modern NBA through the lens of LeBron's era. At the same time, the criticism raises an important question about responsibility. Should superstar players be expected to carry the burden of maintaining traditions that fans love, or is that ultimately the league's job? Some believe stars have a duty to set the tone because younger players naturally follow their example. Others argue that expecting athletes to risk injury in an exhibition game is unrealistic in today's NBA, where championship success determines legacies far more than all-star performances. The truth likely falls somewhere in the middle. Players influence culture, but leagues create the incentives that shape behavior. If the NBA wants a more competitive All-Star weekend, it may need to build an environment where players feel motivated to compete at a higher level. Until that happens, the debate will continue. And every time the event falls short of expectations, fans, analysts, former players, and even family members of basketball personalities will keep asking the same question. Who is really responsible for bringing the excitement back?
And I'm not saying play like it's a playoff game. I'm not saying play like it's a regular season game. I'm not saying play like it's the summer league. But play a little. Don't play in my face. Like, I play defense. Or, you know what? Don't play defense. At least pretend to play defense. Or, Adam, how about we get these guys acting classes and have them fake it? Have them pretend to play defense. Have them, just put your hand up in the air. All agree not to hurt each other and just fake it. They don't even, they be dunking and everybody just stands around and makes a lane. Oh, excuse me, sir, was I in your way? What is this? What is this? And LeBron is to blame for that because he is not a psycho. He's not. We've known this about LeBron. He is not the kind of guy that's going to be guarding you and say something about your girlfriend in the stands and make you cry just to get a win. That's Kobe energy. That's MJ energy. They want to hurt your feelings when they beat you. It's sick in the head, and that's why they're so good. LeBron isn't that. He's shaking hands and kissing babies and doing Nike commercials, and he comes to the All-Star game and he's like, look, I've got $1 billion brand to protect. It's boring. And if he had done the dunk contest, Anthony Edwards would be doing the dunk contest. John Morant would be doing the dunk contest. People we actually want to see dunk. I mean, Mac McClung, 3 years in a row? Guys, shout out to Mac. Incredible. He's been carrying for the last few years. That's a problem. And then every year after the dunk contest, he got to get back in the NBA because you're like, it's terrible. All-Star Weekend needs a makeover, and that makeover needs to be in our expectations of it. This just is what it is. These guys don't care, and they're playing in our face. If anything, if you want them to change it, stop paying to go to that game. Seriously.
Others strongly disagreed, arguing that blaming one player oversimplifies a much bigger issue. They noted that changes in media coverage, player workloads, social media scrutiny, and the overall business of basketball have all contributed to the event's evolution. From that viewpoint, LeBron is not the cause of the problem, but rather a symbol of broader changes that have affected the entire league.
Welcome back to NBA Cinema, guys. So we got to talk about it as Jalen Rose's daughter, Mariah Rose, goes all the way in on LeBron James and calls him out for NBA All-Star Weekend being the way that it is. And it's not too far from the comments Kevin Garnett had, which we're going to play those again so you'll know what he said and then you can hear what she said. And I know a lot of people have been critical of LeBron not being in the dunk contest, right? They're saying if he would have did it, he would have kept a lineage of powerful athletic wings and guards going, into the dunk contest who happen to be superstars.
What makes this entire debate so fascinating is that it goes far beyond one comment, one player, or even one All-Star weekend. At its core, this is really a conversation about how the NBA has changed over the last 20 years. Fans who grew up watching older generations remember All-Star games that felt more competitive, more intense, and more meaningful. They remember superstars treating the event like an opportunity to prove something, even in an exhibition setting. Today's players operate in a completely different environment. Every game, every highlight, and every mistake is instantly dissected on social media. Teams invest hundreds of millions of dollars into their stars and prioritize long-term health above everything else. As a result, players often view the All-Star Weekend as a chance to celebrate their accomplishments, connect with fellow stars, and avoid unnecessary injury rather than engage in a high-stakes battle. That shift has created a growing disconnect between what fans expect and what players believe the event should be. That is why comments like the ones from Jalen Rose's daughter generate so much attention. Whether people agree with her or not, she is voicing a frustration that has been building among basketball fans for years. Many viewers do not necessarily want playoff-level intensity, but they do want to see the league's biggest names competing with pride and energy. When that effort appears to be missing, fans naturally start searching for reasons. Because LeBron James has been the face of the NBA for so long, he often becomes the center of those conversations. His influence is impossible to ignore. Younger players have watched him dominate the league, control his career, and redefine what superstar power looks like. To some critics, that influence helped create the culture they believe exists today. To others, blaming LeBron misses the bigger picture because every generation adapts to the circumstances around it. The reality is that no single player has enough power to transform an event as large as All-Star Weekend on his own. The bigger challenge now belongs to the NBA itself. League officials understand that fan interest in the All-Star Game has become a major concern. That is why they continue experimenting with new formats, new incentives, and new ideas designed to make the event feel special again. But no format change can fully solve the problem if fans and players have fundamentally different expectations. Fans want competition because competition creates drama. Players want to protect their bodies because their careers, contracts, and championship aspirations depend on staying healthy. Finding a balance between those priorities may be one of the toughest challenges the NBA faces moving forward. Regardless of where people stand in the LeBron debate, one thing is clear: the conversation is not going away anytime soon. As long as fans continue questioning the direction of All-Star Weekend and searching for answers, the league's biggest stars will remain at the center of the discussion. And that is exactly why a single comment can explode into a nationwide debate about the future of basketball's most recognizable showcase event.